So in this particular presentation, we are going to talk about the concept of molecular diagnostics, some brief history about the molecular diagnostics and molecular biology, and its impact on the human disease, and what is the basis for the molecular assays. Because when we talk in terms of the molecular diagnostics, majority of things or diagnostic strategies, they are called assays, right? Any assays, which can be, it can be your journal PCR protocols, it can be your hybridization technologies, it can be any protocols or any method that we run into the laboratory for getting any specific results. So that is the assay, right? So we will be going in depth about the molecular assays and how it is relevant to us, right? So very first thing, what do we understand from this terminology, that is molecular diagnosis? This thing that we are going to study from today onwards, right? Basically, if we talk in a very layman's language, right, we can say any diagnosis that is relevant with our molecular level, that is a molecular diagnosis. But if we talk scientifically, our molecular diagnosis, it refers to any of the human disorders, any of the human disorders, any of the human disease, right, which is being referred to as detection of various pathogenic mutations in DNA or RNA. For example, if I make it very easy, molecular diagnosis of any human disorder or any disease in humans on the basis of the DNA or RNA, or we can say collectively the diagnosis of any human disorders or disease on the basis of DNA and RNA is the molecular diagnosis. That means when we are saying that we are going to diagnose any disease which is in the human or in the animal, or we are going to diagnose any disease or disorder in the human on the basis of the genetic content or the DNA content which is present in the human, maybe because of the mutations or any different conditions, right, because of which the disease may have been there, right? So diagnosing that particular cause of the disorder or disease on the genetic level, that is molecular diagnosis. Or maybe if you want to detect that because of any foreign microorganism, virus or bacteria, if it has invaded the human body, right, and that particular virus or bacteria's genetic content, RNA or DNA, it is present in the human body, right, and because of that the infection or disease is there. So detecting those foreign particles or foreign bodies or foreign microorganisms genetic material to see that the disease or disorder is the reason, right, or it is the cause because of that specific mutation, that is the molecular diagnosis, right? So that means whenever we are studying the genetic content, the DNA or the RNA, to detect any kind of disorder or any kind of disease, that is the molecular diagnosis, right? So if you define it collectively, this molecular diagnosis of human disorders, it is referred to as the detection of various pathogenic mutations in the DNA or RNA samples in order to facilitate detection, diagnosis, subclassification, prognosis, and monitoring response to the therapies. That means when we talk about the molecular diagnosis, two things you are going to do. First of all, you want to see that if in our body, because we are going to learn in broadly, widely, that what is DNA or RNA and what is transcription, translation, the basis of all these we are going to study in upcoming slides, right? So if you want to see that whatever disease or disorder is in your body, it is because of any mutations or any error or any problem in your genetic content, that is your DNA, right, that you can diagnose, and that diagnosis process is called the molecular diagnosis. Or if you want to see that in your body there is, invading, there is infection because of certain other microorganisms which are actually the foreign microorganism, which are not part of your microflora. They have came from outside. They may be any virus, they may be any fungus, they may be any parasite, they may be any bacteria. They have invaded your body, and because they have invaded your body, their genetic content, their molecular content, that is maybe their DNA or RNA, it is inside you right now, and they're multiplying, they're causing the infection. And if we want to see that your blood, your body, your serum, your blood, your plasma, your any of the clinical sample, it contains the microbial RNA or DNA which has came from outside, and because of which you are getting any certain kind of disease, that diagnosis is also called the molecular diagnosis. And collectively this molecular diagnosis is diagnosing all these things. Along with that we can, do the disease classification. Along with that we can also see whatever therapeutic or treatment strategies we are taking, is that particular therapy working or not, right? So this is done with the help of the molecular diagnostics, right? Because what happens in pathology, immunology, in pathology you can do certain kinds of, or immunology or biochemistry, we can do lots of tests. For example, if you want to do the, the lipid studies, right? For example, if you want to see that what is the level of triglycerides in your body, what is the level of, your these cholesterol in your body, what is the level of thyroid in your body, TSH, T3, T4, you will go for the biochemistry analyzer, right? Maybe you will go for the fully automations, or maybe you will go for the biochemistry machine, and you will analyze all these levels, right? But if we want to see what is going on inside the genetic, on the genetic level, on the very precise level, on the very nanoscale, that is the molecular, the protein, the DNA, the RNA, so that study is connected completely with the molecular biology, right? And there we are utilizing all these DNAs or RNAs, right, on that molecular level to diagnose different kind of disease. And in this molecular diagnosis, what we are doing, we are utilizing the molecular biology. We are utilizing this molecular biology, which is basically, a science. It is also science, or we can say it is a field of biology, which is basically what it, this molecular biology, it is the science or biology which is basically, used to study the composition or the structures or the interactions of any cellular molecules. For example, your nucleic acids, DNA, RNA, your proteins, right, which are very important to carry out all the biological process which are essential for the cell functions and maintenance. So that is the molecular biology. And in molecular diagnostics, we are utilizing all the molecular biology techniques to expand our scientific knowledge of the natural history of the disease, to identify people like who are at risk of acquiring certain kinds of disease or not, if you want to diagnose the human disease or not, right? So that means molecular biology, basically what it is basically which is making us understand the interactions between the various systems of the cell, right? It may include the study of interactions between the DNA, the RNA, the protein, the biosynthesis, right? And how these interactions are regulated. And if there is any kind of error or problem on these levels, right? So we can take help of the molecular biology techniques to diagnose all these errors which are going on these cellular levels, these interactions, these, very minute levels or nanoscale, all these things which are going on. We can utilize the same techniques to diagnose that what is the cause, and if there is, any kind of error, that what suspected disease or disorder it may cause into the humans or animals, right? So that is the connection of the molecular biology and the molecular diagnosis, right? Where we are utilizing the molecular biology techniques to diagnose, or we can say we are utilizing the molecular biology techniques in the field of molecular diagnostics for the diagnosis or, detections or classifications of certain kinds of disease, disorders, syndromes, or pathogenic and non-pathogenic disease, right? So that is these both terms are connected to each other. And these molecular diagnostics, this combines the laboratory medicine with the knowledge and technology of the molecular genetics. Because unless and until, see, for example, if for example, I am there, right? I'm the one, and maybe I have some kind of problem. For example, I'm completely on a very healthy diet. I eat very healthy. I live, I do lots of exercises, and I wake up on time. I sleep on very good times. I have made my schedule absolutely well. But what is happening? For example, liver functions. We know with that liver functions, the liver produces lots of enzymes, and all these are regulated on the cellular level, right? For example, your SGOT, SGPT is there. Your bilirubins are there. Direct bilirubin, indirect bilirubins. All these are the parameters, right? And we all know that, for example, if you eat lots of oily food or anything, your liver enzymes, they may elevate, right? For example, your SGOT is getting high, or for example, if we have any kind of liver injury, such these levels of enzymes, they get elevated from the normal biological range. They will increase, right? Your SGOT and SGPT, or your alkaline transferase, and all these enzymes, they may get elevated, right? But for example, I'm living absolutely healthy life. I don't have any problem. I'm fit and fine. But what happens? Every time I go for the test, I see that my liver enzymes are elevated. But my lifestyle is absolute. For example, I don't even use any kind of oil. I'm completely on the boiled food. But eating everything healthy, eating everything that is going for my good liver health, I always see that my liver enzymes are always elevated. Because we know that everything is regulated by our gene. That is why we call DNA the central dogma. That is the DNA which is containing all these genes and everything, and that is regulating each and everything. So that means maybe my liver is absolutely healthy, but the error is not mine. The problem is not with me having any other diets, but the problem maybe there in my genes on the genetic level. Maybe there is itself the error in the codings. Maybe there is some kind of mutations that because of that my liver enzymes are not regulated properly, and that is why my liver enzymes, they're always elevated, right? And it may be possible that they're hereditary. They may be transferred from my parent to me, maybe from me to my offsprings, right? So sometimes the problem is not with your general enzymes and hormones, but sometimes the problem is in the the base itself, the main base, that is, or main backbone, that is the DNA. So maybe the problem is there, and because of that all the functions are there is problem in all other functions. So that means if every time I go for the liver function test and I get the reports and I get medicines, I eat medicine, it is not going to solve the problem unless and until we identify that problem is in my gene. There is some kind of mutation because of which the liver is continuously making extra enzymes which should not be there, or it is making the enzymes above the biological reference values. So when we talk about these different terms, genetic therapies, gene therapies, reverse genetics and all, so that comes into existence at that point where you can alter, where you can correct the mutated gene, which is the reason for certain kinds of disease. So that is why when we see molecular diagnosis, that may be the starting of certain kind of disease treatment strategies. And that is case maybe because of autoimmune disorders or sometime. And sometimes, for example, during the COVID-19, what happened? The one of the main technology that was there during the COVID-19, that was your RT-PCR technology. That was the molecular diagnosis. And without molecular diagnosis, we were not having any of the options. And even at the airports and everywhere, without the RT-PCR reports, the people were not allowed to board the flights even, right? So that was the power of molecular diagnostics. That means to see that the human has that specific, COVID virus in the body or not. If the COVID virus is there in the body, that means there will be proper extractions of the RNA method, then the PCR amplifications will be there. And on the basis of molecular diagnosis, if the patient is positive, the treatment will be there. The laboratory medicine, the doctor will be prescribing the antiviral or antibacterial therapy based on the diagnosis only. That means the molecular diagnostics is combining with the laboratory medicine with the knowledge and technology of the molecular genetics, right? That means if you're going for the molecular diagnostics, that means all of the treatment strategies, the medicine strategies, they completely rely on your diagnostics. And not only COVID, but your human papilloma virus based cervical cancer. In the upcoming slides, we will be talking individually about HPV, hepatitis, which causes a hepatocellular carcinoma, your human bovine virus, your mycobacterium tuberculosis, your H1N1, swine flu, H395, avian flus, your influenza A, B, C, D, right? Multiple type of microbial strains are there. Dengue is there, right? So multiple strains are there, which are only, or we can say the best technologies for them to diagnose is the molecular diagnosis. And based on that only, the treatment strategies are derived. So this particular diagnostic technology or your molecular biology, it has been revolutionized over the last decades, benefiting from the discoveries in the field of the molecular biology, because molecular biology is connected with the molecular diagnostics, or we can say the molecular biology is the mother of molecular diagnostics. So when there will be, revolution or upgradation in the molecular biology technologies, that means we have more to give into the molecular diagnostics, right? So that means lots of things have happened over the decades, right? Lots of revolutions, lots of upgradations, and lots of, new concepts have been there into the field of molecular biology, based on which our, concepts of molecular diagnostics that have become very, very strong, and they are being utilized in our day-to-day life. And lots of more strategies are on the way, based on which, right, we are going to do lots of things, even in, your pharmacogenetics. That also, it's like we can say, that is the personalized medications. If you want to get treated, maybe because of our genetic disposition, maybe because of our genes, we are not able to, metabolize or accept any of the medical molecule, maybe any of the medicine you are getting, maybe not because of, it's not problem in the medicine, but maybe the problem is in our gene, that we are not able to, metabolize or accept that particular molecule, right? So based on that, the pharmacogenetics, personalized medicines can be there. That means based on your genetic buildup, the molecule or the medicine will be prescribed to you. Maybe everybody will be, okay with that particular drug molecule, but maybe different molecule can be given to you based on your genetic buildup. So like that, various technologies are there which can be very, very, we can say, helpful for us in the upcoming days, because of the molecular diagnostics, because of the molecular biology itself, right? So up to